My name is Wayne Grant, age 38, fighting out of Dublin, Phantom Gym in Ireland, and I got into the sport kind of through necessity. And I grew up in a kind of rough area up in Jobestown, and then went through foster homes and the usual, not the usual, not the usual everybody goes through, but some people. Grew up in foster homes when I was a kid, and kind of got into kind of boxing when I was younger than that, and I came back to Dublin when I was about 14, and was like living in like a foster home or a kind of an orphanage type situation, and kind of fell into fighting, to be honest, out of necessity. It kind of, yeah, not kind of, it was a kind of a necessity. I kind of grew up alone, so yeah, kind of me and some of the guys out of the hostel. I remember we had a large room, and we got a punch bag, weights, and just basically boxed the ears off each other, and that's kind of the not the first experience, but like that was like the when I started to kind of fall in love with kind of kickboxing or fighting, or even it was kind of MMA back then, because we seen the first what was it? There was like the first UFC, so that's going back a long time. Before that, when we were in Jobestown, I boxed a little, but not on a club. It was kind of that stuff the kids used to do on the weekend around the corner in Kiltalone Road. They used to show up with like boxing gloves, and we'd all box the head off each other every Sunday and have a little laugh about it afterwards. But that's kind of, I got into fighting out of necessity more than anything else, to be honest. I started fighting professionally in K1 very late. It was like, I think my first pro fight was age 30, and before that I have no amateur record whatsoever. I was training in SPG City Centre at the time, doing a bit of K1 kickboxing. I hadn't discovered Muay Thai yet at the time, and just decided just to go for it. Jumped in, had a couple of K1 fights, and that was it. I kind of fell in love with it. I started doing it, to be honest, really just to earn some extra pocket money. The money was decent back then. Shout out to Chris Boyne, PFC days, 2013. But yeah, I hadn't really discovered Muay Thai then, and I think after my first kind of pro fight, I decided like just to go to Thailand and visit Thailand, and then fell in love with Muay Thai from then on. It's a different animal, completely different animal. After Thailand, it was like I had a couple more K1 fights, and then I had a pretty bad injury. I had a rattled retina, to be honest, and I took a little bit of a break, but I was still training Muay Thai. I think I've been over to Thailand so many times since, even during the break and after the break, and just fell in love with Muay Thai from then on, to be honest. Before I turned pro, I was actually training at home, training in the kitchen. Cleared out the kitchen table and the seats, and we had a little like a clear open area, and we just, me and some friends, just hitting pads, and that was it, smashing pads. And then I just woke up one day, and I remember I was training with a guy. I used to train in a gym as well, and one of the guys that used to hold pads me just suggested maybe I should like think about fighting as not as a profession, but maybe I should think about fighting pro and see how I get on. And I just decided to go for it, and it worked out. I won a title in K1. I didn't really accomplish much in K1, to be honest, because I always pushed towards Muay Thai. I found it's more complete with the elbows and the knees and the clinch work, and I find there's nothing wrong with K1, but I won a 75 kilo title. I think it was like my second fight ever. It was literally the second time I was ever in the ring. And it was like the first pro fight went really well, and I ended up getting a title shot, and I won that in 2000 and maybe 12 or 13, and then I think I lost that just as quick. So experienced with a kind of better fighter on the day, to be honest. There's so many beasts involved in the fighting sports. There's like, I always say that to the guys, look, be humble, because there's always somebody better, always somebody stronger. There's always going to be someone faster, and it might not happen today, might not happen in the next fight, but someday they'll come along. So stay humble and just hope that doesn't come along too soon. My first Muay Thai fight, I was actually semi-retired. I wasn't really sure if I was going to come back from fighting. I had kind of a bad injury. I ended up getting my nose broke pretty severely, and just after I was coming back off a break from the initial break I had, I was like, I think, recovered from the nose break about 7 months, and then I moved gym. I moved from a gym in Harold's Cross down to a gym in the city centre, and I was training there for a little while, and I ended up getting the call from one of the promoters to fight in cage Muay Thai. So it was like Muay Thai and MMA gloves, so baptism by fire. So my first ever Muay Thai fight was a pro fight with cage MMA gloves on, and it was a title fight for cage Muay Thai 70, I think it was 76.5 kilo belt. I ended off winning that in my second outing with the rematch against the same fighter. The first one was stopped with like a nasty cut. We had a rematch and I won by KO. So I won the 78 kilo ISKA title, the CRC 73.5 kilo Muay Thai title. I defended both the cage Muay Thai title, the 78 kilo title, and I haven't defended the CRC 73.5 due to COVID. And at the moment, I'm in preparations for a ISKA European title, which is a good opportunity for me, considering I haven't been in the ring for 4 years. I'm 38, but it doesn't make a difference to me. I still train hard. I train hard. Even during COVID I was training. After COVID I was training. One leg I'll still be training. I've even had broken arms and still trained the next day after getting the cast come on, so it's not going to make a difference to me. Advice I'd have for like young up and coming fighters would be without sounding like a cliche, but go, if you're going to be fighting, go all in or all out. It's as simple as that. Don't take, in my opinion, if you're planning on getting rich, don't take up fighting. You're not going to get rich. You're not going to make money off it. You will have amazing experiences. You'll meet some amazing people. You will go to some amazing places as part of the sport, but you're not going to get rich doing fighting as a sport. And this is just my opinion, but if you're treating fighting as a hobby, it's a very dangerous hobby. So either you take it seriously or you don't do it at all. If you have half a mind about fighting, do not step into the ring. We all have fears. There's nobody who doesn't have. It's not fears. We're like, fighters are not afraid of getting hurt because we wouldn't do it. Like, if you think about the sport, actually think about the sport from a logical point of view. There's nothing normal. If I'll say this to any fighter, there's nothing normal about actually willingly getting into the ring and letting somebody punch and kick you in the face. That's not normal. So it's like it's against like self-preservation, but most of us do it out of like kind of either a love for the sport, a love for fighting, the lifestyle. But you're not going to get rich, and take it seriously. There's people who die every year from boxing, from MMA, from Muay Thai, from kickboxing, from combat sports all over the world. So don't half-ass it. Try to be the best version you can possibly be every time you get into the ring. Don't be lazy. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous sport. Go to Thailand as well. I think that's something that all aspiring Muay Thai fighters should definitely do. You're not going to be able to replicate the training. You're not going to be able to replicate the training, the experience the guys have over there. Even just the experience of training over there. You don't have any job. You don't have any responsibilities other than training. You wake up every day, beautiful weather, go training 2 or 3 hours a day, go home, sleep, wake up and do the same thing all over again. It'll really bring your level up. And it's in my opinion, it would be like the biggest and best advice I would give you would be go to Thailand, go to the land where Thai boxing was developed, and learn from the best. I think that the biggest lesson I learned from fighting in general is, without being crass, don't be a knobhead. Very simple. Don't be a knobhead. The person standing across from you, they have the same fears, the same feelings, the same everything as you, and you getting in someone's face and calling them a pussy, or calling them this and that, you're not Conor McGregor. Nobody else is. You're not going to make this. You're making about 500 quid a fight. Don't be a knobhead, because at the end of the day, somebody is going to whoop your fucking ass, and that's going to be it. You're going to hate the sport then. All those guys you see on Instagram giving all this and all that, those guys will get probably, that's all a lie. Most of the crap you see on Instagram and all this getting in your face and all this crap, don't be that person. Don't be a knobhead. Nobody likes those sort of people. You're about, you and your opponent are on the same journey. It's about putting the same hard work. It's about getting the same crap money. Don't be a knobhead.
자, 공차.